Hi, everybody. I hope you're doing well. We are quickly approaching the 2 week mark of doing our cleanse. I hope that you are seeing results. Maybe that is with your sleep, maybe with your energy, or just creativity in ways that you're nourishing yourself. So I know I've been giving myself grace and enjoying the process, which has been great for me. I've got my little shake here right now. Gotta shake it up, but yeah, today what we're going to be going over is conscious cravings. What does that mean? What might it mean when we have cravings? Where do they come from? And then how can we navigate them in a mindful way, in a productive way that feels good? So, thank you to those that could join last week in the group setting. If not, completely understand and hope that you enjoy this video. So, listening to your body and honoring its signals are a true form of self love. When we think of cravings, we may think negative things when it comes to a craving. Maybe we associate it with something negative. So let's talk about it. If we can understand the different reasons why cravings will arise, we can take empowered action. So if you can maybe deconstruct a craving when it comes up, with like, what is my body trying to tell me? We can use it as a guide to become even more self-aware and committed to the why behind your lifestyle choices. So some questions you could think about would be, when did this craving occur? What do you think is the root cause of the craving? How do you move forward? And if it were to occur again, how would I navigate it differently? So let's talk about causes and let's talk about navigating through. So, as a health coach, I believe that health has many different areas. So, example could be spirituality, joy, creativity, finances, career, home cooking, home environments, social life, and relationships. And one of the reasons why cravings might come up would be that an area of your health, your holistic health, is needing attention. So maybe you're feeling dissatisfied in a relationship. Maybe you have an inappropriate exercise routine, and that could be like too much, too little, the wrong kind, or not at all. Maybe you're bored or stressed, feeling uninspired, and reaching for emotional eating to try and cope with these uncomfortable feelings. I know I've done that before. So that could be one reason. You could take a look at yourself and say, what could be sparking this craving and what areas of my health need attention? So I have added a diagram here, or a little circle that you can use. I'll send it. You can see it here. I'll send it over in an email. What this represents would be the wheel of your health. So all the different areas that you may look at when you're thinking holistically that equal to whole person health. And it can shift which areas you might need to focus. But what I would have you go through if you're having cravings that come up, that you come to the conclusion that is coming from an area needing attention, would be take out this circle. We have different areas here that would be in your health, and what you'll do is go through each one. So physical activity. Am I feeling satisfied? That's going to be towards the outside of the circle. Or am I feeling dissatisfied? That's going to be towards the inner part of the circle. So go through and place a dot wherever you're feeling middle, not feeling very satisfied. To the out, you're feeling pretty good in that area. And then once you complete each area, you can connect all the dots and you have a visual right there of where your imbalances lie. So then you could look at that area, maybe it's creativity, and you ask yourself, how can I nourish this part of my health? Maybe it is building a vision board, maybe it's taking an art class, or making a Pinterest board, whichever way you like to use your creativity. And that would just be one area. So I hope you enjoy the Wheel of Life. If you have any questions about it, feel free to reach out. But the cool thing about this is you can go back and do it again, maybe at the end of your cleanse, and see your circle like maybe go towards the out of it, or the imbalances could change. So if your cravings come up, that could be a reason. There's a part of your health that needs attention. And then number two reason why cravings can arise would be your hydration levels. So as you know, with this cleanse, it's going to be really important that we stay hydrated. And that would be drinking about half your weight in body or in ounces of water. So half of your weight in ounces of water. So staying hydrated, it's a great way to reduce extreme cravings. It can also help regulate the amount that you need to eat. So just consider if you feel like you're having a craving to eat, is it really just your hydration status that your body is seeking balance from? And also keep this in mind when you're working out. When you're working out, your body is sweating out the electrolytes. So just maybe seek foods that would have the minerals in it that you need and electrolytes. Like I love to talk about coconut water, but that is a natural way to get good electrolytes in it in you. Number three reason why cravings would be coming about would be the inside coming out. So the foods that you've recently eaten or maybe from your childhood, these foods are going to tend to be fresh in your mind where you are likely to crave that food. Or if it gave you a positive experience when you ate the food, you're craving that positive experience to be recreated. So just kind of keep that in mind. And you'll probably notice that with the cleanse, with eating really clean and drinking the shakes, the shake really helps with craving. So I don't know if you are experiencing that, um, but what you're eating is probably what you'll tend to crave. So if you're eating healthier, you'll maybe notice that you're craving the green shake or you're craving these vegetables. Or if you've had lots of sugar, maybe that's what you crave because your body's used to having that. So you're kind of feeling and like you want that again. So another reason, and I think it's important to understand the different reasons so you can have a little bit of more power over a craving that might be coming up. Another reason would be seasonal. Of course, our body craves with the season. So in the spring, maybe we crave lighter foods like leafy greens. In the summer, maybe we crave like watery fruits or fruits. And then in the winter, we're probably craving warm meat or oil, fats. Fall, I would say squash, onions, but they can be associated with seasons or holiday seasons. So it could be sparking from there. Another reason a craving could come about would be a lack of nutrients, which right now, being on the cleanse, you're getting 96% of your nutrient needs if you're doing the two shakes a day, the aminos, the biomedic, and sticking, to a healthy meal plan. So shouldn't be a problem, but if you have a craving and you come to the conclusion it might be the lack of nutrients. So some examples could include, let's say you crave chocolate. I've read that if you're craving chocolate, that might be your body trying to tell you that you need more magnesium, which is an essential mineral. Or another example would be if you're craving salty foods, you might be lacking or your body is maybe craving the trace minerals that are in the salt. So just some things to think about. I supplement with a magnesium and I completely love it and I tell everybody about it because it helps with so many different things. It helps with feelings of calmness, it helps with sleep, it helps with bones, joints, body aches. So I do take that sometimes in the evening. Um, but another reason that cravings could come up, I'm sure we've all experienced this, would be hormonal different changes and fluctuating testosterone, estrogen levels may cause unique cravings, and stress hormones will also promote different cravings too. So just check in with yourself. Is your craving sparking from any of these areas? So But I just want you all to know and just kind of tell yourself and be aware that any big change that you're making, dietary or otherwise, lifestyle, is not going to happen overnight. And sometimes we may revert to old habits because they're familiar or they're just that a habit. So you're retraining your brain to choose something new. And what that is going to take is practice. You need to practice it until you believe it and that it's your new habit. So go small and just stay the course. You can do this. Um, Maybe you're reverting to old habits because you're not totally ready to let them go. If it happens, just please be patient with yourself. Take a step back, do some reflection, and just know that maybe if I got off track or if I didn't eat exactly how I wanted to, you can show yourself grace and you don't have to throw in the towel. You can continue on and just look at it as a learning lesson. Another thing to consider is that if you indulge in a craving, it could be more productive. So, versus restricting and having this harsh outlook on it, it could be more productive to just give into it for the one time. And let's say, like for me, the example could be caffeine. Like I give into my craving of caffeine, and then that night, maybe I don't sleep so well, or I'm not feeling so well from it. So it could become a learning experience in that way, or just by going through that, giving into the craving, you're not craving it so badly that you just kind of go overboard with it. So just know it's all a process, it's a part of the process, and that it's often just it's a part of the process of change and growth in dietary and otherwise that it'll have ebbs and flows and changes and that you just need to have patience and be clear on your goals. And this is why I think it's important to be clear on your why and wanting to do this or wanting to make a lifestyle change because you can go back to that. So why did you embark on this journey? Because that can give you a boost when you need it. So revisit your why whenever you need. So now that we've gone through a few different reasons why cravings can come about, let's talk about how we can navigate through these cravings with mindfulness. So they're coming up. I've figured out how or why. Um, so how can we move forward? And this can also help us have, like I mentioned earlier, a deeper understanding for ourselves. But the steps that we'd want to do would be number one, acknowledge the craving, whatever that is. Maybe it's coffee, maybe it's sugar, maybe it's bread, or maybe it's something else. Number two, so we've already acknowledged what it is. Number two, we're going to explore the origin, and we're going to explore this origin without shame, without judgment. We're just going to have this lens of curiosity. So, where is this coming from? I have these different reasons. Is it hormonal? Is there something I'm lacking? Is there an area in my health that I need to nourish that's not on my plate, that's off my plate, like alone time? So just look at it with curiosity and try to figure it out without putting yourself down in the process. So we're acknowledging the craving, we're exploring where it came from, and then step number three is we are going to proceed from a place of empowerment. So, what does that look like? Whether you choose to move forward with fulfilling that particular food craving, or if you explore another option to nourish yourself, the point is really to make the best choice for you, what works for you in an empowered way with the education that you have. Um, it isn't a bad thing. Having cravings, it isn't a bad thing. In fact, it can be a good indication of where you're needing nourishment or where you're seeking attention in your health. So it may not have anything to do with food. It might be a message from your body seeking a particular food to promote health. So a good example of that would be if you get sick, you kind of start to crave like that grandma's chicken and rice soup or noodle soup or just warm soups. And maybe that's a way of your body hydrating and helping cleanse out the illness. So cravings can be a good thing. But it can definitely be a spark from maybe your emotional state, diet routine, or surroundings. So the first thing we're doing in our steps would be acknowledge the craving. So when it arises, just acknowledge it, sit with it, give it space. Ignoring the cravings can make it seem a little bit stronger, a little bit more powerful. When you make foods off limits, it can have the opposite effect. So as a health coach, I don't know if I have any foods completely off limits, at least listed in my mind. I know what I avoid. I try to avoid like processed foods or inflammatory oils. I try to look for the highest quality that I can. Um, but I encourage each and one of you and all of my clients to just really have awareness and listen to what their body needs. Your body could be craving and showing you the right direction too. So, yeah, just I guess use caution with the word off limits because it can have the opposite effect. And it doesn't help you to forget that food often. You may be preoccupied with that or feeling less empowered to control the situation when you're around something that you know you're ready to let go, which maybe it's sugar or cookies or something. But just in this first step of acknowledging the craving, just have mindfulness. Maybe fulfilling the craving is what you do. Maybe you're going to avoid it. Maybe you're going to try something, a healthier option before you indulge in that, which is what I would recommend. But simply acknowledging the craving, you help reduce its power and you could maybe disassociate from it because you're acknowledging, you know where it's coming from. It's not that particular food, and you can get to know yourself better and what you actually need. So, um, some questions that you could do for step number 2. So now we're moving into we want to explore the origin with that curiosity, non-judgmental view. And we could ask ourselves these questions. So is this craving occurring alongside a particular emotion or physical feeling? Is this food a highly palatable food? And what I mean by that is that food created by scientists that make it exactly something that your brain wants to eat more of it, and it just the way that it crunches and it's put together purposefully to make you want to eat more and more or try to figure out. So some examples that come to mind would be like goldfish or Cheetos. Um, is this craving tied to a habit? Is this craving guiding me towards food that would support my health or well-being? So I love that because we can honor what our bodies are craving and listen to that. If it is, supporting your health and well-being, and I feel that you all have the inner knowledge, the inner knowing to make those choices. And then another question would be, is this stemming from, something else that I'm needing right now? Which it could be something to help stress. Maybe you're tired. Maybe you need social connection. So lots of different things. Um, Stress, I would say, is most common, or lack of sleep. So sleep is going to be so important, and I hope that you're getting really good sleep with the cherry juice and um, just honor that your body's doing a lot of work right now. You're doing something challenging for your body. So if you are a little bit tired as you're detoxing, I would invite you to honor that in the same way that we are exploring cravings. And by that, I mean no judgment attached, no shame attached, just knowing like, yeah, I've been eating so clean. My body is working hard to remove things that I'm ready to remove. So make sure that you're prioritizing your sleep and not feeling bad about it. Um, Because yeah, if you are lacking sleep, maybe the next day you'll notice that you're making not as great dietary choices or choices in general because you're coming from a place of feeling tired, knowing that you didn't have enough sleep, and that I think goes hand in hand with stress. Sleep and weight loss are connected. So with stress, you might go to craving like dense foods, like maybe lots of breads or energy dense like sugars or potatoes. So yeah, just kind of keep an eye on your sleep and definitely your stress. And actually, I've just listened to a podcast that had a really nice view on stress that I'll share with you in the email. Um, so yeah, if you listen to that, let me know. But a little bit more about the highly palatable food. So if you're the processed foods, they're designed to make customers crave them. So the word that they describe this is a bliss point. So it's a perfect combination of sugars, salt, fat that makes the processed foods difficult to resist. But I feel once you do get them out of your life, I don't know if any of you eat these types of foods, but I feel like you kind of just you don't like it as much once you've not eaten it so often because you can just taste the processed feel. But they tend to be higher in calories and then lower in protein and fiber. So oftentimes these genetically modified ingredients don't have a lot of nutritional value. So something to think about when a craving is calling for something that is actually designed to make you crave that. Um, that is it's not to do with your willpower at all. And then next question, is it tied to a habit? So some of us may have like a habit of, let's say, like coming home and automatically snacking out of the cupboard. And that's one really good reason why I appreciate this cleanse is it gives you the self-awareness of where you have habits because you have to make new choices. So maybe one of the habits that I was ready to let go and am now practicing is not planning ahead for food. And now I notice that because now I have to plan ahead. So, another example of this would be like maybe in the midday you have like a drop of energy, so you just automatically reach for like a sugary snack or something, or you're just like in this autopilot and it's just a type of habit, like on the way to work, you stop for a coffee or something like that. But just a quick moment or however long you need moment of mindfulness can really be enough to distinguish between a craving that's something out of habit or a craving that's actually due to hunger and something that you actually need. So I would just check in with yourself, maybe close your eyes, take a few deep breaths and ask yourself like what do I really need? Is this something that I'm doing out of habit or is this something that I actually need? So um and then just like I mentioned, is this craving guiding me towards a food that would support my health or well-being? Um, so maybe you've noticed, let's say you go on vacation and you're eating out a few days in a row, and then you start to crave like coming home and cooking your own food. That would be an example of a craving that is guiding you towards health and wellness. So, what kind of cravings do you have in your life that do that for you? And then the last step you want to do when mindfully navigating through cravings is proceeding from a place of empowerment. So we acknowledged, we we dove in head first and we know where it came from. We looked at all the reasons, we asked ourselves all the questions, we know where it originated. And now we're ready to proceed. We had our moment of mindfulness, took a deep breath, and we're ready to proceed from empowerment. So what you can do here is Rather than feeling controlled by the craving, you get to make the empowered decision of how I want to move forward. You get to use that curiosity, investigation that you did to make the best choice moving forward. So you can consider a craving as a guide to maybe where you're imbalanced and use it as a tool to help you in your health. Um, Whether it's another form of nourishment you're seeking, just respect and acknowledge your individual cravings as they come up. It's something that we all experience from time to time, and I hope that these tips help you navigate them when they arise. Just pay attention, explore what your body might be telling you, acknowledge them, don't place judgment on yourself, and then just proceed forward the best that you can. So I hope that you enjoyed this video today. I'll send this over to you so you can read through what we just went through, but just know that I'm here for you. Feel free to reach out if you have any questions going through your cleanse. I know we'll be adding in that super cleanser pretty soon, so going in a little bit deeper into our cleanse, which I'm excited about. And I hope you are too. Have a great day.